Hi, welcome back to another show. My name is Jeetu Jason, and you're watching Impact India. Let's get started with the first news, which is Bangalore restaurants threaten Swiggy and Zomato boycott. Um, Zomato and Swiggy have been trying to squeeze every drop of profit from restaurants. The same thing that happened with, Ola and Uber and taxi drivers. They're trying to squeeze profits out of the producers, the people who are actually producing the bulk of the value. I don't think I value the delivery more than the food itself. I think the food is more valuable than the delivery, and restaurants did have delivery before Zomato and Swiggy came along. It was just inconvenient. That's all. So how is a small service supposed to, is taking up the bulk of the share or the lion's share of the profits and revenue? That is a little concerning to me because this is just crony capitalism. You're not creating any new value. Your value was delivery, and that should be like, a small percentage of the food, not the bulk of it. I think anyone who with a decent amount of morals and common sense would agree that the food producers, the restaurants, are the ones who are creating the bulk of the value. So the bulk of the lion's share should go to them as opposed to the delivery apps. So these hotel and restaurants association in Bangalore issued an ultimatum to address high commissions, reportedly up to 28%, and sometimes even more than that, forced discounts on them, and opaque deductions and advertising fees by August 15th. Okay, or face a citywide boycott or stoppage of orders on the platform, which is, I think, that's what they should do. But ultimately, the issue is this is a duopoly. It's just Swiggy and Zomato. As long as these two giants are the only two players in the market, they will get away with basically murder. And my opinion would be to create more apps. Okay, let's flood this country with more delivery apps so that there are options for people to choose from. Now, I do understand there is a network effect at play, but if you offer discounts, people can switch from Zomato and Swiggy to something else. It's not that difficult to switch. Now, there's no brand loyalty to Swiggy or Zomato. People don't care about that brand because they're not really offering anything that needs loyalty. It's just cheap delivery. That was their USP, and now it's becoming something else. Anyway, let's move on to the next news, which is AI generated photos on Swiggy and Zomato. So it's all about Swiggy and Zomato today, I think. Um, so uh, Swiggy is a little bit more permissive than Zomato when it comes to AI photos, which basically, in my opinion, is just outright scams. In Japan, if you enlarge the photo of a food on the package, you can get sued for that. In India, we can just outright generate AI generated photos of food and then sell it on these Zomato and Swiggy, which I think in this case the restaurants are at fault. They should actually take the photo of their own food and put it on Zomato and Swiggy. Otherwise, this is just misleading. This is fraud. This is a type of a scam. We're just used to it. We're just okay with this scam. That is why nobody complains about this. But in my opinion, I think we should have a high standard of ethics. The ethics are loosey goosey in this nation. Indians, especially, are okay with this level of scams or fraud or whatever. We are okay with this. We as a society need to upgrade our standards. Everyone thinks that this is just standard business practice. No, it's not. In other countries, it's not. Japan, it's not. Okay, I would like to see what I'm ordering, not an AI generated image of a perfect dish that would never arrive at my doorstep. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is Indian IT companies slash hiring because of AI. Like I predicted, the stocks are down again for ITBs and pretty much all IT companies. Like I said yesterday, I'm vindicated on this. Let's see what will happen in the coming days. Is the IT stock going to crash more or not? So, TCS has reportedly reduced fresher hiring from 40 to 44,000 annually to just 25,000. The same is happening at HCL Tech and Tech Mahindra have avoided giving hiring targets because they are not sure how many people they're going to hire, especially freshers. This is my industry, so I am kind of sad, but I kind of knew this was coming. Uh, the entire product of these IT companies is slave labor. It's just cheap labor. That's their product. Now, what happens when Western countries figure out an even cheaper way to write code, which is AI agents? You cannot compete with that. There's no, you cannot lower the cost or the salaries of people in India to rock bottom or zero. This is not a war you can win. So obviously, hiring will slow down. The IT industries are stuck in a business that is similar to how slave traders were being used to pick cottons, and then industrialization came along that mechanized the whole thing. So your slave trading business is not going to work or compete against mechanized harvesters, obviously. So that is what is happening here. It's harvesters versus black slaves. In this case, we're the engineers that are equivalent to the slaves, and the AI agent is the harvester in this case. So obviously, anyone who understands the fundamentals can predict that IT companies are not going to come out of this unscathed. They are going to bear the burn for it unless they switch to AI implementation, which is banks and healthcare agents, like hospitals, don't want to put their clients' information onto OpenAI or Anthropic's servers. They want to keep it on their servers for privacy reasons and security reasons. So AI implementation, they want AI agents or AI models to integrate to be implemented into their companies, into their yeah companies, and there's a lot of money in solving that issue. So basically, if you can help banks and hospitals build AI agents for themselves and keep their data on their own servers, there is a market for that. That is not going to be taken by AI because it requires physical hardware installation, which I don't think AI is capable of doing as of now. Anyway, that is just my opinion. I don't think the IT stocks are going to recover back to the previous levels unless they switch to AI implementation, which I don't see any company doing as of now. Anyway, that's it for today. I will see you in the next one. Until next time, bye.